Hey, it's Terry with Something Spooky, and I'm going to be reading one of my stories today. This is from my new book, Stories of the End, which you can get on Amazon in paperback or digital. And this story is called Our House. In the middle of the second winter in their new home, he saw the wretched hag monster holding their baby in a split-second flash that fractured his mind. Tracy and Adam Brinkett had bought the house in the spring of the prior year. She had taken his name the summer before, around the same time that they had upgraded to being a family. Blake, a curly-haired baby boy, joined them in the strangely shaped pastel blue house almost as soon as the papers were signed. One of the things Mr. Brinkett had liked best about the house was a pair of bedrooms in a parallel at the end of a Y-shaped hall. The hall ended in a strange indentation, a kind of point in the wall, and the rooms were across one another, respectively on each side of the divider. It was an unusual arrangement, but Adam had thought from the beginning it would be nice to have the baby's room so close, and imagined how he could peer around the corner from their room and see straight into the nursery. The first year passed rather uneventfully, as Blake slept in the bedroom with them. A few times, Adam heard bumps in the night, and Tracy once thought she saw something moving in the walls, bulging and slithering like a snake in the plaster, but neither could ever find evidence or confirm their fears. Tracy had been drinking that night, and it was the first time she smoked pot since the baby. After the first birthday, Blake moved into the adjacent room so that the tired but happy couple could actually start sleeping on a regular basis. Immediately, Adam heard crying in the night, but whenever he checked on the baby, there was nothing. He figured that it was just a matter of being in a new place. But then strange apparitions became a common occurrence for the family. Adam awoke violently in the night after seeing something in the room, and Tracy told friends that she would see a shadow in the corner that vanished when she turned. They even talked about speaking to a priest or enlisting the help of a paranormal investigator, but the few times Adam looked online, the search results did not inspire confidence. The happenings escalated in severity and frequency. The stovetop would light full flame for no reason, and the thermostat would drop to freezing temperatures. The blankets would be pulled off Tracy as she slept, and Adam found himself waking from sleep while walking around the house. Once, with friends over, all of the power in the house went out, and the next morning, no one could remember the time that had passed, or even how they had got home. The Brinketts put the house for sale the next day. The night before they were set to move out, Adam detected a strong smell of sulfur through the house. He thought about leaving, taking Tracy and Blake to a hotel by the airport where they were set to depart from their new home in Cleveland the next day. Adam had been able to easily relocate within his company, and Tracy felt optimistic about a change in scenery and returning home after years in sunny New Mexico. But Adam was ready to go to bed and figured he would only sleep a few hours anyway for the 6 a.m. flight. Maybe he would even get up a little early. He went to sleep that night with a streaming playlist serenading the background. They were eager to leave, but even with all the uneasiness, he couldn't help reflect romantically on the days they bought the house and welcomed Blake into their life story. That first Christmas, when it was still easy enough to believe that this would be the home they shared the rest of their lives. That now seemed like a distant memory as their bags waited on the couch and most of their belongings had already been shipped to the new place back in Cleveland with Tracy's family. While dreaming of a park bench submerged on the ocean floor, Adam awoke to the sound of wailing. He was just struggling to consciousness, but the cries seemed more fervent than usual. Tracy had told him they should move the crib to their room, but Adam had insisted with the narrow divide between the rooms, it was all the same. The truth was that he had just wanted to make love that night, and when it next occurred to him, the flight had already been booked. The house had been quiet for a while, and the family even slept peacefully for consecutive nights. The flesh of his bare feet slapped against the hardwood floors. Pockets of color took shape in the shadows as his eyes tried to adjust to the changing light in the hallway. He craned around the corner, bridging that Y-shaped hall, bracing against the strange indented point in the wall to peer into the nursery like he did every night before bed. His heart sagged and his mind erupted when in the other room he saw a fat, wrinkled, ghoulish woman with long strands of tangled black hair staring back at him, standing above the crib with Blake cradled in her arms. She held him tenderly, supporting his head with a careful touch as thick liquid slimed off of her and soiled the floor. Her dark eyes were like torches of marble, and as she gazed back at Adam, she hissed, a roar that shook the house and sent a primal, suffocating sense of panic through his core. Madness swirled in his head, and a terrible sound echoed through him, and he could feel it in his fingertips. Instinctively, Adam heard himself scream, "This is our house!" But it wasn't. The bags were already packed, and she held their baby. Hope you enjoyed. That was Our House from Stories of the End. You can find the link on the page.